What on earth was that disgusting Monday Night Football game between the Packers and the Eagles? I thought the Broncos and the Raiders had put on the worst performance in prime time this year and probably for the rest of the season, but the Eagles and Packers said, hold my freaking beer. The score was 0-0 at halftime. You guys didn't even get a field goal? Like neither of you could get a field goal? Well, the Broncos and Raiders are thanking them right now because they no longer have the worst game of the year. They are now tied with worst game of the year with another 10-7 finish with the Eagles beating the Packers 10-7. Now, this game did have a couple exciting moments, the Josh Jacobs touchdown and the Devontae Smith touchdown. The defenses played great on both sides of the ball, obviously, but this was just an absolutely embarrassing performance from the Packers and the Eagles offensively. Are the Philadelphia Eagles really the defending Super Bowl champion? Okay. And Jordan Love, you're getting dropped from my fantasy team this week. Congratulations. 2 straight weeks of horrible football from the Packers. They lost 16-13 against the Panthers last week, and now this week they lose 10-7 against the Eagles, and it's an offense problem. Now that we've vaguely summed up the entire game, let's go ahead and run through the horrible last sequence for both teams on both sides of the football. Now at the end of the Broncos-Raiders game, it looked like neither team wanted to win, and they were both trying to hand each other an early Christmas present with an easy win. That's exactly what was happening here tonight. So the Packers, down 3 in pretty reasonable field position, go for it on 4th and 1, and the play that they decide to run is a halfback draw. Yeah, they decided to run the ball from the gun on 4th and 1 for the game. They didn't decide to pass it. They didn't decide to quarterback sneak it. They didn't decide to do a run where Jordan Love's under center and he gives it to Josh Jacobs. They decide to run the ball from the gun formation, and they lose like 5 yards on the play. So the Eagles get the ball back and the game is basically over, right? Wrong, because the Eagles decide they don't really want to win this game either. They kind of would rather the game go to overtime or them lose. So all they have to do is punt this ball, and the game is completely and totally on ice with about 20 seconds left in the game because the Packers D got yet another stop. And they decide to go for it on 4th down as well for no reason. And they were trying to throw to AJ Brown and the pass was incomplete for some reason. So the Packers got a pretty reasonable shot to get into field goal range, and they did get into the edge of McManus's field goal range. They pretty much get the ball to the logo, and then McManus has to come out and try a 64-yard field goal. And then there's a timeout or something called, and then Jordan Love and the offense come back out on the field with like 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock. I think it was like 4 or 5 or 6. And then they run back off the field, and then McManus and the kicking team come back on the field, and then both coaches look really confused, like what's going on right now. And we're all confused at home because we're kind of just wanting this game to be over. So we have a primetime game on Thursday in 10-7, and we have a primetime game on Monday night in 10-7. These primetime games recently have been awful. Not only did Jordan Love cost me my fantasy week, he threw 36 times, and he completed 20 passes for 176 yards. Jalen Hurts only threw the ball 26 times. He completed 15 of those for 183 yards and that one touchdown pass to Devontae Smith, which was the only good pass in the game. Christian Watson led in receiving with 2 catches for 45 yards, which is insane that your top receiver has 45 yards receiving. And if it weren't for Devontae Smith on the other side having that big catch, he ended up leading with 69 yards. He would not have been the leading receiver. This game was almost split right down the middle in team stats. The Eagles ended up taking it though slightly in all categories of rushing yards, passing yards, total yards. The Packers were only 5 of 13 on 3rd down, and they lost 2 fumbles. And Matt LaFleur is going to have a lot of answering to do for that 4th down call. Even Tom Grossi was pissed at this call.
I have no idea what the last 5 minutes of that game was. I have no idea. But GG's, Eagles fans. It was a very close game. The Packers defense, man, they played their ass off. It was one of the stupidest games that was ever played. Yes, it was definitely up there. It's a 10-7 game, just like Thursday Night Football.
What did you guys think of this disgustingly horrible Monday Night Football game? Let me know down in the comments below, and just let me know how you're feeling about primetime games recently. We'll see you very soon in the next video. Thank you for checking this video out. This is just emergency last-second video. I didn't think I was going to make a video about this game, but it was so horrible I had to just pop in here real quick. Subscribing is free. Subscribe down below to join my new community growing here on YouTube with sports content that you'll love. Arizona sports content mainly, but we also have NFL content like this about other teams. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you very soon in the next video.